Well, good morning. Travels with Dottie here. And the topic today is how to keep your costs down on the road, in particular, electrical costs. Now, those of you that boondock full time and have a great solar battery bank, like I do, don't really need to worry about electric bills. Except if you're like me and you have all that solar and battery, but you often will stay in places that provide electricity, and you're often in very hot environments where I've got a lot of solar and a lot of battery, but I don't have enough to run my AC days on end when the temperatures are in the mid 90s or low hundreds or even 110. So I have to occasionally pay for electricity. Question is, what can you do about it? Electrical rates run from a low of 8 cents per kilowatt hours in some very lucky areas all the way over 20 cents a kilowatt hour. And there are places where they're very attractive monthly costs for an RV spot, like $200. But then you do it in a hot environment, like in July and August in Quartzsite, you can end up with anywhere from a $200 to $500 electric bill in 1 month. Yeah, you can. You want to be comfortable. So, what do I do? And this is new for me this year doing this. It's always been kind of in my mind to do it this way. But this year in Eagle Nest, I want you to take a look at this shot. This is looks like I'm in a boondocking spot, and I kind of am, but the kind woman that runs the RV park has a electrical line running out to me, a 10 gauge outdoor heavy duty cord that's run from an outlet, and it's on a separate meter, and I do have to pay for this electricity. And you can see how here it goes into my RV. So I'm hooked up to electric. Well, let me show you this inside. Right here, you see that instead of plugging the power strip here that you see into an outlet that's charged by the paid electric, I plug it into my solar system. And over here, where you see my desk and all the electronic equipment that I run, I have that also not plugged into a charged outlet. I have it plugged into an outlet that goes through my inverter, through my battery system. Okay. The other thing that I've done is I've gone into my circuit breaker box, and the second one down turns off the battery charger. So the electricity that I'm paying for, none of it goes to charge the battery. So I have solar panels out there that charge the batteries. When I'm working in my office, like right now, I'm working in the office. I've got a light going, I've got the computer going, I've got the camera going. That's all run from battery. And when I watch TV or listen to music, that's all on battery as well. So virtually, and anything 12 volt is going to be run from battery only, like all of my lighting. Anything that, like, for example, my heating system that I use, it's 7.5 amps running the fan on the propane central heating system. Because that's 12 volt, that's coming direct from the battery, and it's not drawing any electricity from the paid spot. So what am I using the electricity for? Well, up here, even though it's nice cool days and cold nights, we still occasionally have temperatures that reach into the mid 80s, which means it can get into the 90s inside the RV. And you're talking to a guy that values his comfort. So when I turn on the AC, that automatically is drawing from the paid electricity. And I'll only be pulling that electricity as long as I'm running the AC. So I dramatically cut down on the power that I pay for. I've got something like Starlink runs, about 60 watts, but it runs 24 hours a day, right? So 60 times 24 it's a big number over that time every day drawing from electricity. But the Starlink is also hooked to my inverter and hence my battery. So none of the paid electric contributes to that. The only thing that it contributes to are, well, let me be fair. Two things. I don't need to do this. I could hook my microwave up, and when I see my first bill, if it's a little higher than I like, I'll switch my microwave and hook my microwave up to the battery bank. And you know what? Now that I'm saying it, I'm going to do that because I'm getting to 100% of my battery bank long before the afternoon ends every day. So I've got excess power in that battery bank. So after I make my change today, and it's an easy change for me to make, I will. Oh, I've got a warning here, a 5-minute warning for an appointment, but I still have 5 minutes to be with you. I will switch. So the only thing that will be drawing electricity that I pay for is going to be the occasional use of my AC. And it certainly won't be every day. And my guess will be maybe, I would say at the most, 6 hours a week of AC use, of actually the compressor going. And that's not going to cost me very much. Now, I don't know exactly how much. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I have been here for about 10 days, and I will go out and do a meter reading, and I'll come back and tell you how much I've spent so far. How's that? And then I'll close out the video. I got to get ready for that appointment. I'll be right back. So I'm back, and I got those meter readings, and it was for 10 days. Are you ready? $3.20. Now, I got to say, I didn't keep track of how many hours I had the AC on, but it was certainly less than 10. It was probably 4 or 5 total. There was only 2 days. And one of the 2 days, I think it was only for about an hour. But $3, and I think it's about 16 cents here. I didn't ask exactly how much it is, but I think it's 16 cents a kilowatt hour. So that's about $3.20 for 10 days here. So it's going to get hotter in the summer here, and I'm going to be using it more. But this gives you an idea of how much money you can save, because certainly if I was running everything off it instead of the batteries, it would be substantially more. Last year, I think it was close to $80 a month when I wasn't using any solar. I was just plugged in exactly the same place. Now, granted, it was July and August, so it was hotter, but still it was $80 a month, and it's not going to be anywhere near that this month. So that's a good thing to do. Boondocking for sure, but people don't think, hey, do it in an RV park. Don't use electricity that you have capacity to get for free. There you go. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope it was useful to you. If you have any questions about how I did it, if it didn't make sense, I'll try to explain better. Or if you have suggestions, I do know one thing is that you can get a Victron device that does inverting, and it does the routing and electricity, and everything goes into that box, and that box always uses, you can set it so it always uses solar first before drawing from the grid, so it's automatic. I'd love to have that someday. So anyway, take care, and thanks for watching.